Hey y'all, happy Monday. Welcome to another What Else is Going On, aka We Go podcast YouTube episode. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. Excuse me. I just came from the gym after working all day. I know y'all probably like, girl, you look like that working all day. So ain't no difference. But I'm all a little bit sweaty, but I wanted to hop on because there's some stuff that I wanted to talk to y'all about today. That I'm gonna take a shower, take my notes for Atlanta, and make sure I have my podcast episode with me recapping slash giving my views and thoughts on Atlanta last night because I have a lot. Ciao, what did I watch? Anyway, let's get into the couple things I wanted to talk to y'all about. First off, I want to talk about Miss Angela Oakley. So Angela sat down with, they've been heavy promoting Atlanta, right? So Angela sat down with a couple different media outlets. I want to talk about some things she said when she sat down with Decider Studio to talk about her first season. And there's just a couple of things that I was a little bit interested in. Um, I guess that they're all trying to throw hints. Make sure you watch the rest, that we make sure we watch the rest of the season, right? So she said with her first impression of which lady made the best impression. She said Cynthia made the best first impression. She's amazing. We love Cynthia. She says, so they ask her, I noticed that both you and your fellow newcomers, Kelly and Britt, are all successful businesswomen and entrepreneurs. What do you think draws powerful women to Atlanta? That is not the question I wanted to read, but we're going to go with it. She said, there's a community of successful people in Atlanta that look like us, that act like us, that talk like us, and that come from our background. It's just a good place for entrepreneurs to flourish, women in particular. Atlanta has been good to me. Then they asked her, it's clear from the start that Kelly and Britt are very close. Were they accepting of you as a fellow newbie? No, they're mean girls. And then she laughs. I tried to give everyone a chance before forming my opinions, but you'll see where I'm coming from soon. Remember, she said that in this interview. She said, they are mean girls, are Kelly and Britt are mean girls. She tried to give everyone a chance before forming an opinion, but you'll see where I'm coming from soon. Then we get into Miss Phaedra. She says, give me one second. Um, it's no secret Phaedra will be returning to the franchise this season. What do you first think of her? She says, Phaedra is a lot of fun. She came in vibrant and ready to party. We had a good time together at first. So now let me jump into the interview that she did with Page Six, Virtual Reality. I would play it, but it has music playing in the background. One of the questions was, what castmate do you get along with the least? Phaedra. She said that basically Phaedra, they asked her, so like, what is it about Phaedra? And she alluded to, well, she said Phaedra was clout chasing, I guess, off of her. So they said, what? Did she come running up to you to try to like get your attention? And she basically was like, yeah. I say it's going to be interesting to see. It's always interesting that when these ladies do interviews after the season has already filmed, not aired, but filmed. And when they speak about specific things and then we get to watch the show back to see if either A, it plays out the way they said it would, or B, if it gets cut out. But she said, child, Phaedra was clout chasing off of her. Out of the newbies, she said she's the top. Out of the three of them, she is the best newbie. She is the best newbie. And if she had to text someone, it would be Britt just to check in on her and see how she's doing. Which is interesting because she said Britt was a mean girl. Not was, but is a mean girl. Child, I said the more Angela talks, the more we see. She was a little quiet that first episode, but she said that was because her wig was lifting. Baby, she didn't tacked it down. That glue that Shamea was talking about, she didn't got that good glue. That glue Shamea was talking about for her nose. Shamea said it, not I. Because I think Angela, I think all the girls are pretty. I think Angela's really pretty, and Angela got body. Uh, but she didn't got that same glue that Shamea said they need to get for her nose, and she didn't got it for them wigs. And now that them wigs is tapped down, child, Angela is talking. Phaedra is clout chasing after her child. I'm ready to see the interaction. Next up, I'm minding my business, scrolling on YouTube, and different videos come recommended. Maybe one or more of my videos were recommended to y'all. Maybe that's how y'all found me, which, by the way, for those of y'all that are watching, those of y'all that are new here, those of y'all that have been here, I thank all of y'all, appreciate all of y'all. Thank you for coming over to hang out with me. Now, so I'm scrolling. So I go over to Michelle Alien Brown's YouTube channel, and I see that she's hanging out with Peter and some other guys there, Peter Thomas. And I said, what? Peter's supposed to be in where Karen is, but not at her not at Karen Huger's same spot, but at a spot similar to Karen's, right? He's not there yet. It was interesting. There was a watch party being hosted for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But before we get into that, at this watch party, before we get into where it was held, y'all, hold on a second. Y'all had to get up because I heard water. And I was like, I know water's not coming from the ceiling because last year, we have a bench in our shower, like a ceramic built-in bench. And some of the caulk had come up. It had a crack in it. And we just happened to notice one day, my daughter, that water was coming from the ceiling. Like, excuse me, what? So the hubby, because he can do all that stuff, cut open the ceiling to kind of see where it was coming from and all that stuff. But we got it taken care of. So when I heard them drops, I said, oh, child, if I had seen water coming from the ceiling, I would have jumped out the window. I'm telling y'all, but it's raining outside. So, but anyway, what was we talking about? Oh, so at this watch party, they talked about a lot of stuff. They're supposed to be watching Atlanta, but they having conversations. So Michelle was being a little bit messy. And I think his name is Craig, her best friend or what have you. And they were talking about Candy and Todd's restaurant. And Michelle was saying, I would have went over to Old Lady Gang, but they're closed. So Peter was like, no, they're not closed. No, they're not closed. And, him and Todd are friends. So he first jumps in to defend them, saying one thing, then he ends up saying another. So I want y'all to watch. Again, this is Michelle's channel. Peter is something else. Peter is funny. So listen to this.
Saying once Candy lost her housewife check, she need to liquidate assets and funds, so she's selling the deal.
Oh, break it down, Josh.
No, that's a lie.
Break it down.
That's, first of all, everybody.
So did you hear him? He said Candy lost her housewife's check, so she has to liquidate assets. So Peter's like, nah, that's a lie, because remember, he's good friends with Todd.
Everybody know Candy made the most money from a housewife, period. Everybody knows that. And everybody also know that.
She's not on there anymore.
Yo, slow down.
Can you imagine losing?
Slow down.
For 1 second?
Yeah. After I say what the fuck I gotta say.
That's you taking over my job.
Candy made like $2 million a year doing housewife.
Correct.
Okay? So she didn't do it for 1 year. She's far from broken. By the way, that Denzel Washington play on Broadway right now, she's one of the executive producers behind it. Yeah, listen, she's still making major moves. You hear the hater in the background. There's 29 other producers.
Right. I'm pausing in between because, we have to pause and give commentary so YouTube doesn't have a problem with it. But he's right. I have seen people say, well, it's not just her. So what? She's one of them, though. And she's going to make good on her investment. No matter what she invested, she's going to make good on it because the play is so successful. Have y'all gone or any of you guys planning to go see Othello on Broadway? If so, let me know in the comments. If you've gone, let me know what you thought of it. And if you plan on going, let me know.
It's a hater right
That's
there.
not a hater.
It's
It's just fact.
Okay? Yo, listen. Let's be real about it.
But can I say something now?
No, not yet.
For the
Not
past
yet.
10 minutes.
This is my house.
This is my damn lie, though.
Keep that in mind. He said, you're in my house. Y'all are at a restaurant. Peter was convicted of what? Not paying taxes? Or not paying the employee taxes at what? his previous restaurants. We're watching this live in a restaurant. He's telling her, you're in my house. Peter is going to jail later this year. Keep going.
In my house. Okay. Yo, listen. With that being said, okay, Kenny did probably the most episode in the history of Housewives. Okay.
Not what I was trying to
and
get
with
to.
that being
Come on.
said, she's only been off the show one season. And that one season that she's off the show, that she's missing $2 million. So what?
This is not
You
what I was
gotta,
trying to show
you
you.
gotta
And
scale
you
down.
said, so what?
She owned the building where
You're
the
right.
whole
She
lady
gotta
was.
scale down. That's what we just said.
Yeah, but
You heard him. She owns the
because
building.
She's a smart woman. She's a smart woman.
She's smart because she knows that
she's
you
not
can't
about-
walk away from $2 million and think that life is gonna be the same. It's not, because you live at your income level most
You
of
know
the
what?
time. So when you lose,
You know what? You need to tell the rest of your friends that. That didn't have the income to begin with.
See, why you-
She still got to escape.
why you
They still make.
Y'all, that's not what I was trying to show y'all. Oh, I want to scream. Okay, here we go.
So he's downsizing on the restaurant thing.
This is what I want to.
They're not being.
they close permanently.
No, I spoke to Todd. He said they're closed for a
Let me
couple
see
weeks.
that. Let me see. Wait a
So Michelle right there says they're closed permanently, OLG. And he says, I spoke to Todd, they're only closed for a couple of weeks. He says that first.
No,
Let me
Todd
see the
said they're
picture.
closed temporarily.
Let me
They
see.
own the building.
No, they closed.
Not a landlord
no,
issue.
Look, what did it say?
Hold on
What
for a
did it
second.
say?
Let me get my reader.
Read it. Read it out loud. Read it out loud. Read it out loud.
Unfortunately, we closed our Peter Street location. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. You may visit us at our Camp Creek location. 3650 Marketplace. Yo, listen. Hold up. Because y'all like to tell half the story.
Oh,
I
God.
met with Todd the other day, and Peter Street location is worth a lot of money. More money, because they own the building, than what they were making there. So he's downsizing on the restaurant thing. So he's sending everybody to Camp Creek, where it's not College Hill, and they probably could rent out that building with no static, and it's all profit.
Okay, so what you
That's the real
So
deal.
what you saying is,
hold on, let me break it down. So he's saying
So you heard what he said. At first, he was like, they're only closed for a couple weeks. Then Chad and paused it with her mouth open. Let me move a little bit. So we're not looking at her mouth open. so then he says, look, I talked to Todd I met with Todd, a couple days ago. They own the building that the old lady gang on Peter Street was in. The building is worth a lot of money. So he's downsizing and they may rent out that building. And they're trying to send people over to the other location, I guess, to make more money at the other location. I just thought it was interesting how he jumped in to defend, like, oh, it's only closed for a couple of weeks. And then when they showed him, this is what he says, Todd told him that. Then when they showed him, I guess the article, whatever she found, said that it was closed, then he explained why. Which one do we believe? I don't know, because you told us two different things, Peter. But there have been conversations about whether OLG was closed or whether Blaze was closed or whether it wasn't. Some people are saying it is. Some people are saying it isn't. Some people have said it was temporary. So I guess, I mean, hey, if they own the building, good for them, as long as they do something with it or get somebody in there, right? So that way it can basically pay for itself. So hopefully, they get somebody in there. There's a couple more clips that I wanted y'all to see. I said, Peter just talking, ain't he? Just talking. I'm trying to get right to it, y'all. So it's funny when you fast forward and what you stop on and what you don't. Okay, here we go. Now listen to this. Peter is funny.
I told
the people will know when you're going to jail.
Yeah, they don't have to know that.
See?
All they know is that I'm going and I'm accountable. I'm accountable.
You are
That's all you
accountable.
need to know. Man.
You heard
Should have
that.
voted for me and not Donald. Because that nigga ain't.
Peter, you was not running for no office, but she's telling him people are asking, aren't you supposed to be in jail? Like, how are you sitting here? And he says,
Oh, I told you I was going to jail, nigga. What are you talking about? I know. I told
The
you.
people will know when you're going to jail.
Yeah, they don't have to know that.
See?
All they know is that I'm going and I'm accountable. I'm accountable.
You are
That's all you
accountable.
need to know. Man. Should have voted for me and not Donald.
child. Let's go to an article real quick that I found about this. According to federal court documents, Thomas will be placed in a prison as close to Miami, Florida as possible. The documents say Thomas shall not be designated to surrender for service prior to July 1st, 2025. So he doesn't have to surrender till 2025. Let's go. Oh, we're not ready for that one yet. Let's go to one more. Look at this, y'all. Remember, they're sitting in a restaurant having a watch party, right? I said, Peter is like a cat when it comes to restaurants and how many lives he has. Listen to this, y'all. I'm trying to get it exactly where, but you know. All right, we'll stop it right here. All right, here we go.
Fucking peasant.
You heard what? Listen to this.
Who's that top part?
Mind you, they're watching Atlanta because it's a.
Are you gonna let them shoot over here?
Are you gonna let them shoot over here? Are you gonna let them shoot here? Where perhaps are they? Where he would let them shoot right now? And maybe y'all knew this because I had no clue. Listen to this. I said, now what in the?
Point about that, nigga.
Hold on.
Remember that?
Can I say one thing? Y'all come support this restaurant. Come support One Society.
We ain't worrying about that, nigga. We're not even out there yet. We ain't worrying about that. We're not worrying about that. You just early. You will let you in before we open. That's all this is.
But I'm still here to support him too.
Private
Hey, look, this is my dog right here for real. Hey, we support each other.
Peter said only friends and family can come by.
We open up in 2 weeks. But, you know, if you want to stop by and just see us work it out, come by.
It's all entertainment.
I know.
Y'all, how in the world is Peter, who is going to jail, able to open another restaurant? So this is the restaurant. Now, I can't play because it's music, but this is him telling everybody to come by. He said, I love talking ish to these new MFs. Yes, I am not locked up yet. This was 22 hours ago, still outside at One Society ATL, 6010 Singleton Road, Norcross, Georgia. So he's telling that, like I said, I would play it for y'all, but y'all go to his Instagram and he's showing y'all his new restaurant. That guy that said, will y'all come support this restaurant? He owns that t-shirt company, Power Tees. I know y'all I think it's called Power in the Black Tees. You probably have seen the ads on Instagram, on Facebook. They have different sayings. Company owned by Black folk, like he's one of them. That was him. And then this is the restaurant. So this was one day ago. Our ladies' night is coming together beautifully with nothing but sexy in the building. Every Friday night is ladies' night. Come and experience our beautiful venue at One Society ATL. Great food, great drinks, great service. So y'all, Peter, look. This is him. Come and watch the premiere. This was 3 weeks ago, the premiere of the season. Somebody said season 17 of Atlanta, child. In that video with Michelle, he also said he was a part of the seasons that had the highest ratings. And he left at the height of the ratings of his own will. I said, they was going to keep Peter. Did y'all know that Peter had a restaurant? And am I late? I had no idea that Peter had opened up another restaurant. Again, he went to jail. He's going to jail because he didn't pay the taxes, the employee taxes from the previous restaurants that have all been shut down. In the same video, he was saying how he ain't no snitch. He ain't no snitch. So he said it was against him and his brother, but he didn't want his brother to have to do time or have anything on his stuff. So he decided to take the fall for. He also said that he don't F with Apollo. He don't mess with Apollo like that. I think we heard that a couple weeks ago. Last year sometime. But he said he ain't no snitch. Like when the because Michelle brought up the feds coming to his house. And he said when the feds came to his house, he had already moved the car that was there because he knew they were probably going to come because he ain't no snitch and he was looking out for his boy. Child, that live was something else. But I just wanted y'all to see that. So he's saying Candy and Todd own the building on Peter Street, so they'll make more money, possibly renting it out. Possibly. We don't need to know when he's going to jail, Peter. We know you're going to go at least before. You don't have to go until July 1st. Peter probably ain't going to wait till July 1st to go in. And yeah, he is opening a restaurant. How, Sweat? How? Now I want to get into Shamea. So we've all been watching this show and we've all felt, I think for the most part, a lot of us have felt throughout the years of Housewives that it didn't seem like Porsha quite had Shamea's back the way Shamea has her back. And then was it the first or second episode, we saw what I personally felt like was Porsha and Miss Diane laying the groundwork to make Shamea out to be this bad person that wasn't really looking out for Porsha. When they went on the spa day and Miss Diane said, I know you don't want to hear this. You and Shamea have been friends for years, but you got to watch the dog that brings the bone. Shamea and her mom, because this is Shamea's YouTube channel, Shamea and her mom had some things to say about that. So let's watch.
Come on over here.
Hey, what you got going on here?
Oh, man.
Yummy chicken.
So I know not last night's episode, but what did you think about the week before? About that episode? I know you got a lot of feelings, but we're going to keep it cute.
I'm going to keep it like I normally keep it, because if I can't be real, I can't be anything. And you know how my thoughts are. But it's kind of, the whole episode was good, except for a few things that I kind of lifted my eyebrows to. And I had to kind of take it to the Lord in prayer, because when I get offended, I be offended because I don't raise y'all to do that. The part that whom I called my friend back in the day, my best friend back in the day, Diane just kind of offended me when she said to Porsha, be careful as to the dog that brings the bone. And it was directly talking about you. And I was really upset about that. And the reason being is because, first of all, I would never, if I know that there's a direct conversation, flip the script, and she was out with you and talking to you and sharing the friendship situation and what had happened with the other girls, and I came and I told Porsha about it, and then Sarah comes on the scene and says to you, be careful as to the dog that brings the bone. So you literally just called my child a dog when I know how I've taught my children to be very loyal. I know how you and Porsha are. Y'all are good friends. You're very loyal to her. And I've always hoped that she was the same way. We reciprocated what was given. Really had a problem with it because I know I didn't raise a dog. And I always raised y'all to say, tell the truth to your friend. This is your friend. You would have wanted her to do the same thing. But for
absolutely,
her to not do that,
I just wouldn't have. I would have felt some kind of way if someone was talking about me to her and she didn't tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. That's human nature.
I'm like, I only operate on how I would want somebody to operate with me.
Yes.
And it's like, well, dang, if I hadn't told her, then they would have found a problem with that. I don't know. That was to me, that was a lie. I just wouldn't have.
I would have
I've never heard you talk nasty about Porsha or any of them. So
that's just not what we do. But at the end,
I'm gonna pause it and say I can understand where Shamea's mom is coming from. I know as a mom, somebody who was my friend, even if we're not as close now, but we were close years ago, but our families are still close, our daughters, we have all this history. And you gonna get on TV and talk about my daughter is basically bringing both, like not looking out for, we heard, if y'all saw on Shamea's Instagram, her and her daughter, Shiloh, were baking cookies for Porsha's daughter, PJ's birthday. And Shiloh says in the video at the end, you're the best cousin ever. So they consider themselves family. And I'm watching you talk about my child. I understand. why Shamea's mom, you know how Shamea's mom feels.
End of the day, when you class somebody as a dog, I got a problem with that. I really do. It's nothing
I'm a
like
cute dog.
yeah, like you said on the show. I thought that was so cute.
Yeah,
That was so,
thank you.
your snapback was really nice.
Thank you, Mom.
But like I said, you know, situations like that, we have to pray, take them to the Lord in prayer, because if you dwell on them too long, self will get involved and you want to retaliate. But at the end of the day, you take situations.
Yeah,
to God.
I'm not even going to, retaliate for what? Like, you taught us better than that. I'm not going to go after somebody's mom, and I'm definitely not going to. I just don't have it in me. I mean,
who has that kind of energy?
I like fun shade, which is what Angela and I do.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
That was cute shade.
Yeah, it's funny, but the thing is, I just don't like, when you're being nasty and mean spirited, it's not coming from a good place.
It doesn't.
And I'm not going to be a part of it. It is what it is,
Yeah. At the end of the day, I really feel like Porsha would have wanted you to do the same thing to her, or vice versa. Y'all have always been like that. Y'all have always shared what each other said. Whether it was coming from somebody else, y'all talked about it.
Yeah.
And as you should.
Yeah.
As you should. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of time, because so much been going on in her life with her divorce going through and everything that's happening with him being taken away. It's just a lot on Porsha's behalf that she have to deal with too.
I think we all are having a lot of stuff to deal with.
Then have to, with you and my grandbaby.
Not even just that, but even just on the show, like there are several girls that are getting a divorce this season, and
I feel for all of them. I keep them all lifted up in prayer. Kelly. What's the other young lady that sings? Drew. I mean, I keep them all lifted up in prayer, because one thing about the enemy, he desires to sift all of you as wheat. Even when it comes down to friendships, he don't like to see.
All right, so you heard. So basically, they just talk they talk a little bit more about that, and then they go on to talk about some, like they move off of that subject. So I can definitely understand how, again, Shamea's mom is feeling, how Shamea is seasoning. Can I just say, if they baking that chicken, whether they baking it or frying it, I want a piece, because I know it's gonna be seasoned good. What's that saying? If it ain't seasoned, if you ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoned. So I feel for Shamea, because she does and has had Porsha's back. And then I can't imagine how she felt seeing that. I'm sure she probably calls Diane, Aunt Diane, or maybe because, like I said, I mean, they do consider each other family, So it's interesting. I was trying to look up something that Shamea spoke a little bit more on her and Porsha. She did say, okay, here's one, because I was wanting to see what she said. She spoke a little bit more in this interview than she did regarding Shamea. Okay, so she spoke to Jared Alexander. Shout out to Jared from Parade Magazine. This is from her interview with Parade by way of Yahoo Entertainment. And she says, I like how she said that people are saying they're meeting a new Shamea. And I thought the same thing. She says, no one has ever gotten to know the old Shamea. The old and new Shamea are the exact same person. I've always been who I am, a big personality, vibrant, bubbly. And as a friend of on the show, I never got an opportunity to showcase that. There are times that I would go to events and I wouldn't even be mic'd. Now that I have a peach, it's very different. It's just such an honor to just be here in this space, to be able to just showcase my life in its entirety. I'm excited and I'm eager to share it with the world, because it's been over a decade that I haven't been able to. Then she talks about anytime, this is her talking about her and Porsha. Anytime you get a chance to hang out with your best friend and get paid to do it, hey, sign me up, while admitting that there are some bumps in the road for them this season. Excuse me, y'all. I really hoped that my mic paused and y'all didn't hear that. Child, that seasoning got me sneezing through the screen, child. because I ain't had not near sneeze up in me until she was seasoning that chicken. Anyway, she says it's had its challenging times. I would be lying if I said it didn't, because with any friendship, there are highs, lows, ebbs, and flows. But I feel that we do a pretty decent job navigating through it. We'll see. So there's something more that she had said, that she was disappointed about the way it had went with her and Porsha. She also said in her YouTube channel that she didn't, and I would have played it for you, but in between her talking, they played the scene, which played her song. So I can't play that, but she did not like how Porsha kept saying, is that Drew? Is that Drew singing? She goes, why would I be promoting someone else? Do I support on this platform? Yes. Like, I'll support other people on this platform, but I'm going to play my own music. And she didn't like that Porsha did that. And she said she had a talk with Porsha and she didn't go any further. I have a feeling we'll see that on the show. Because remember, in the trailers, although we know how many times now have they played something in a trailer that we haven't seen in the season, but in the trailer, they show her sitting down with Porsha to have a conversation. So we'll see if that comes out. But shout out to Shamea. I like her being a part of the cast. I thought it was a cute makeup with Angela, her olive branch. I thought that was really cute, but I'll get into more of that when I do my recap. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about Shamea and what her mom had to say about the scene with Miss Diane and Porsha. Let me know what y'all have to say about Peter. Y'all, that live was funny. Peter is funny. I'll give him that. Like I said, Peter got 9 lives when it comes to restaurants. Let me know if y'all knew that he was opening up a restaurant, and do y'all believe what he said about Todd and Candy? Again, it was interesting how at first I'm not going to say interesting but at first he says, oh, I talked to Todd. It's only going to be closed for a couple weeks. Then it was, I met with Todd the other day, and it's they own the building, and the building is worth more than what they were making there. So I guess they're going to rent it out. I don't know. And y'all let me know what y'all think about what Miss Angela Oakley had to say. She said that she is the best newbie. They are mean girls. Phaedra was clout chasing off of her. She does not get along with Phaedra. And then when they asked her now in present day, who would be the housewife you text, it would be Britt, to see if she's okay. That's her girl, Britt. That's what she said, actually. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Love y'all again. Happy Monday. This is the start of a week. My birthday is on Friday. My birthday is on Friday. I need to stop because I've been feeling pressure. Why does we or other people will put so much pressure on us? What do you want to do for your birthday? What's going on for your birthday? And that makes me feel feelings of anxiousness. And I just want to be like, I don't know. I want to go with the flow. I don't want to have a plan. I just kind of, if I want to wake up that day and go to work, I go. If I want to wake up that day and just take a shower, take another shower, because I always take one at night, put on fresh, walking around the house clothes, watch TV all day, do some content. Like, I don't want to put pressure on myself. Y'all, don't let social media, society, your friends, whomever, make you feel pressured into doing anything, whether it's for your birthday, whether it's for a holiday. Do what makes your spirit calm. Because I'm recently been trying to do what makes my spirit calm on a lot of things, and just to drown out outside noises. What is it that makes me calm? Because when I'm not calm, or when I feel off balance, that's not good for me. So I try to be, I'm trying to listen to when I say we, me and what do we need? So, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Who knows? I might wake up and look at the ceiling and just enjoy not moving, because I'm always moving. So anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Love y'all. Again, to everybody that's like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. And I will talk to y'all later. See ya.